Yeah, well, congrats to Kyle and his group. They I thought they had a really nice game plan. They came out and changed defenses early and switched ball screens and saw that on the first possession, and that surprised us a little bit because we've seen them do a little bit of that with Dixon on tape. We had not seen very much switching with their two centers unless it was a late switch in their drop. So, I thought that forced us into a lot of isolation and one-on-one situations and stagnated us. And, we didn't handle that well, but give them credit for that. Again, I didn't like us defensively in the first half at all. I didn't think we carried over our game plan or did the things well that we value, but give Villanova, I'm not one of these guys that sits up and just complains about all the stuff we didn't do well. Give them credit for making us do it poorly. So they were good offensively there. I think they had 38 in the first half, and we did not get our hands on balls. They beat us to loose balls. They beat us to offensive rebounds, and we created a little bit of a hole for ourselves there. And then I thought we had some good moments in the second half digging back out of it. I expect that from my group, but not enough and not consistent enough. And it was hard with the whistle not stopping. We kept getting with our rotation. We kept having a lot of problems subbing because, they think the whistle doesn't blow for the first 6-7 minutes of the game, and now we got to sub a ton of guys at the same time, and those lineups, probably weren't what we were preparing for. And then, it kind of happened again in the second half to start the second half. So, a lot of things didn't go our way tonight, but give Villanova credit. I'm obviously not pleased. But again, give them credit for coming out and playing well.
You knew Dixon was going to get his points, so how disappointing is it that he gets 31?
Disappointing the way that he got it. I think that was. I think everybody that plays them has got to make decisions on how you're going to defend him, and I don't think there's a correct answer, because if there was a correct answer, everybody would do it, right? I mean, he's that good of a player. He creates a ton of problems, whether they're playing him at the 5 or playing him at the 4, and whether you switch the ball screen with him, whether you fight through it, and we're trying to do all those things. I thought we had a really good plan for who we are and what we'd seen on tape. We did not execute it well. I mean, I'm really disappointed with when I look at his line, the 3 threes, right, and the 6 for 9 from the foul line. Our goal was to limit that stuff. If he made 8 shots over the top from 5 to 17 feet, we were going to be fine with that over the course of a game. But for him to get 3 off the 3-point line, and then the last 2 were huge, right? And then the times that we fouled him and left our feet, that was really discouraging.
You mentioned some of the things they did defensively that surprised a little bit. Was there anything offensively, or was it just effort and execution that led to your disappointment with your defense? Anything they did offensively that surprised you?
I don't think they did anything from a surprising standpoint, but they just did the stuff they do very well, right? I thought they were very deliberate in the first half, and they were walking it up, taking 10, 12 seconds to even get into their set. And I thought we don't play that way, so when we practice against each other, I thought that kind of made us be passive and unalert, and that was frustrating. Again, they executed their ball screen actions that kind of start the domino for them offensively well, but I didn't like our ball screen coverage or our ability to communicate. So, but again, I always say give the other team credit. They made the plays, and I certainly was frustrated with some of our stuff, again, especially there in the first half, and that puts us in a different kind of hole.
You mentioned that long first segment and the substitution situation. Did you hesitate to put 4 in? I mean, normally you can, but in this game.
Yeah, but it wasn't as much, Scott, about it's early in the game. We trust guys, even our young players. We trust them, and we'd like to kind of not mass sub like that, but it's not just the guys you're putting in, it's the guys on the court need to get a breather. Now they've been playing for 7-8 minutes straight, and we need those guys for 40, right? So it was unfortunate, and it was unfortunate that segment didn't work out for us either. I mean, I thought there was some bad stretches there, but I don't think that's on any players. It's just the game goes like that. But I just thought that made it difficult for our rotation is what I'm saying, not blaming it on that group.
See, much you made some threes late, but it was a struggle for a good part of the game. What were they doing to you?
I mean, I was just missing shots. It's nothing extraordinary. I feel like I've been taking those shots the whole season, even when I was making them. And today was just different, so I got to get back in the gym and make sure it doesn't happen again.
They had 6 blocks that took you out of a lot of things. Just anything you see that you can do in the paint.
No, I give them credit. We probably didn't make as good of decisions as we're capable with the ball downhill, and again, we weren't in rhythm offensively. I'll give them credit for that, but I still would expect us to overcome, something that's a little bit different than what we expected.
Does this amplify a little bit how much you do need Dan Skillings? Everybody knows you need him, but he's on a timetable.
Listen, we believe in our guys. I think a great program is a next man up program. There's going to be stuff that happens. We've done a good job of that to date. Just because we have a poor performance, I'm not going to sit here and say it's because we don't have one player. I think great programs have to overcome that, and we're trying to be a great program. But like I'd say it about anybody that played tonight, Scott, if one of our key players wasn't there, I'd prefer to have him. But that's not an excuse, and that has nothing to do with us not being able to compete to our standard better tonight. But damn right, I want him back. I'd have said that if we won the game by 150. I mean, that's just what it is.
Coach, Big East, Big 12 battle, obviously big physicality, a lot of the physicality you talked about in the Big East. What does this mean for you looking ahead towards Big 12 play and the rest of your out-of-conference play?
Yeah, I mean, 32, 33 on the board. I do like that we got 13 offensive rebounds, and we had some good possessions there chasing the ball down in the second half. But we're a team that's got to hang our hat on the rebounding, and we've had some moments here over the last couple weeks that we haven't done that. We're going to have to become a more sound team, a more physical team, and a better rebounding team for what's ahead.
While preparing for this game, did anything catch you off guard? While you were preparing for this game today, did anything that Villanova showed that threw you off?
I wouldn't. Again, I'll give them credit. Like, they were switching ball screens all ways tonight, and I don't think we expected that. But I've been watching them, and they've been trying different things. I mean, you watch the Maryland game; they have possessions where they take their center and stand him at the basket. Like funky type defense. You've seen you've seen them. They face guarded in the St. Joe's game. They face guarded Reynolds. That's the kid Reynolds. They face guarded him. So because it wasn't consistent game to game, I don't think that we. I'm not going to be crystal ball. Like I'm not in their meetings and in their practices, but we knew they could come out and do something different. So as a staff, we talked about it. Switching the ball screen wasn't one of the things I expected, but it wasn't like we saw it on the first play of the game. It wasn't like I went, "Oh, that's crazy." It was like, "Oh, okay, that's what they're going to do tonight is switch everything," and we just did not handle it well as a team, and we're going to have to go back to the drawing board there. And again, they played 1-2-2, which we knew, and I frustrated about the way we handled that. We covered it, but probably not well enough, and that'll be a look in the mirror thing for me as a coach. And then playing, I knew they might jump into a possession of 2-3. They've done that, but as much as they did in the first half, that was probably a little surprising. But I wasn't worried because I think we're a good team. We're a hard team to zone with our shooting and decision making. So that's the stuff that happened. And give Kyle credit, give his group credit, but it shouldn't affect us to the level it did if you're in my seat.
Coach, 6 for 11 from the free throw line tonight, 55%, on the season 59% as a team. What do you think has been the biggest reason for the free throw struggles for Cincinnati this year?
I don't know. If I had the answer to that, I'd fix it. But I think our guys are good shooters. It's a limited sample size. Certainly 6 for 11 hurts us tonight, right? I mean, if we're 8, 9, 10 for 11, possession or two different, and in a 2 or 3 possession game most of the second half. So, I don't have a reason. It's not like one guy's missing all of them. You look down tonight, and a lot of 1 for 2, a lot of 0 for 1. We got to get there more to get in rhythm at the free throw line, and we got to shoot them better when we get there.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.